Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 84 of the Toonami Escape podcast. I'm your host, Greg Zeno. Tonight we just have B-Dubs and C-Kohler.
I'm so disappointed.
Why?
Because you sounded so you sounded so disappointed there. It's like it's just us.
What? It's just us. None of those other losers.
And now we're never going to get anyone else ever again.
Are they the losers, or are we the losers that we couldn't get anyone on our podcast?
I didn't even.
Yes.
Yes. That sounds about right.
Unfortunately, what I am disappointed in is the fact that we're not getting My Hero Academia or Mob Psycho or Ancient Magus Bride, but mostly those first two.
I'm shocked we're not getting at least one of, either Academia or Mob Psycho. Like, I thought we'd get one of them. I was like, okay, we're not going to get Academia because DeMarco said he can't get the rights. But I'm like, Mob Psycho 2? I'm like, damn.
They got eat.
Yeah. It's just one of those things that's absolutely crazy.
They were popular and well requested, so somebody else was like, I want this.
Yeah. I think we talked about this a while back, probably like 10 or 20 episodes ago, about like
Academia,
with the whole the exclusivity deals that are going on.
Yeah, and everyone and their grandmother has a streaming service, so there's a ton of exclusivity deals.
Sentai was like really attaching itself to like High Dive and Amazon's anime strike.
Yeah. It's just this weird thing. Oh, I will say that in a show you guys will probably like on Netflix, Troll Hunters Part 2, came out on Friday, and it is very good.
I saw some clips of that. It looked weird.
It's it's this thing that it's like, it could fit on Toonami, but it probably wouldn't.
It's live action, though.
No, it's not.
Wait.
I'm thinking of a different CG. Yeah, it's the Del Toro animated CG thing on Netflix.
I've never seen it. Damn.
It's actually very good. I think there's about 40 episodes out now, and it's gonna keep going for basically forever. I think it's getting one more part, and then a companion series, and then one of those like Defender style team up. Series.
Is it anime themed or not?
Is it what?
Like an anime type of show?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely an animated type of show. It looks a lot like a Pixar,
Oh, I meant
show.
anime.
Oh no, a little bit, kinda.
Okay.
It's
back when
it's got some really stylish looking fight scenes when they can be bothered to really try.
Back when that one dude was like making Cannon Busters the Kickstarter, and I think this is the same dude who did that recent thing that was, what was it? What's his name? This is going to be really reductive, but it's the black dude who made the anime.
Is that the
Cannon Busters? LaShawn Thomas?
Yes. What was the thing he did recently? That's not
shit.
Cannon Busters.
Hang on, I'm looking. Black Dynamite. Children of Ether.
That's it. That's the one. I thought when Cannon Busters was like getting kickstarted, I was like, "Hey, Adult Swim, do that." But no, Netflix.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the shows. I don't know who was really seriously considering Magus Bride as a Toonami show.
Someone probably was bugging him about it.
I mean, I know it's popular, but it just no.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but here's the thing, though. Did you guys also see the recent tweet where DeMarco put out and he said, "This is not an indication of our success or failure or anything like that. Just genuinely curious. What other genres of animation or anime would you like to see on Toonami?"
Yeah.
He's like, would you like to see comedy? Would you like to see horror? Would you like to see? And he listed off like 5.
I think that's kind of like if we were to try to get some shows that were maybe in the past we would have said this doesn't have enough action, but maybe it's action enough adjacent.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So,
I
like, a good example might be, oh, geez.
Well,
Umofo?
I don't even think action. I mean, I honestly felt his question literally to me felt like if action wasn't a prerequisite, what other kinds of shows would you be interested in?
Like,
Yeah.
he's going to do something really experimental.
Yeah, or be like, well, what's that one like cooking anime that's real popular?
That one,
Soma?
Sokugeki no Soma, Food Wars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Like I
That,
could see him being like, well, that's real popular, but that doesn't have really fighting in it. Would you guys
I
go
mean, it
for
is shonen as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still,
I think I think there's a bunch of stuff that the audience that's out there, like in the past and present, that the audience would like, and it would open a lot of doors for them if they did expand a little bit past just beyond action.
it also might be a, hey, maybe we should try sports.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Haikyuu is popular.
hmm I mean,
Yeah,
I
I-
suggested Ippo when he put the thing in. I'm like,
And of
hey
course,
man,
Tears Durante coming, ping pong!
Ping pong, yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's good. I mean, like, I
yeah,
think that shonen-esque style sports anime would be a good first attempt because it's
yeah,
got action still. You know, it still
yeah,
has action. It doesn't have combat so much, you know what I mean? But action,
right.
I mean, but I was actually thinking more along the lines like, would they go so far as to have a slice of life show?
I think if
And
they were gonna
I
do
don't
I don't know, but
know.
here's the thing.
no,
The
no,
thing about though
if they
is
were
that
gonna do
like I would
go ahead.
say like a comedy. Like I think it would be a really good experiment to just put a non-action comedy anime on the block because there's a
Konosuba.
lot of Adult Swim shows that are
No,
similar in vein to that, you know?
yeah, you can
Right.
try and draw in some of that audience. I think if they were gonna do sort of a slice of life, it would either be like a ball busting comedy or something sort of genre-y like Haruhi. I think outside of those two
I
sort of things, they're not going to
just
jump
don't
into it.
feel like no matter what they do, they're ever going to really go into kind of that, it's cute girls doing cute things area.
No, I don't think they are either.
So, like, if it's, I mean,
I mean, you can make the justification that Haruhi isn't just, the cute girls doing cute things. But I don't think they're ever going to go into, like, that thing where
maybe
the four
Madoka
girls make the
Magica.
band.
Again, I think there's a little bit of action in it. They
They can justify it.
could
That's
take
a
a
crazy
baby
enough
step.
thing.
Yeah.
Who knows? We will see. Anyway, all the way back to, it's sad that we're not going to get those shows probably for a while.
hmm
For like
Forever.
several years.
I think by the time the rights are available, there's going to be other stuff.
Like maybe
Fine with
but they
that.
could.
I'm
By the
okay
time
with
the
them.
rights are available, you could put them in a Lupin slot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I mean, at
Absolutely.
least Mob Psycho could go in a Lupin slot. At that point, there's too many episodes of Academia to really consider.
It doesn't matter though. It wouldn't
Yeah.
matter to me. Like to me, it's no different than like when they aired Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann had been
Mhm.
available for like a decade or something at
Yeah.
that point. I don't care. Like just show it. It's
If it's
great.
good. Yeah. Oh, I will say, apparently, the guys doing the new Full Metal Panic season showed a tweet showing, the giant robots and stuff. Apparently, they're still hand drawn. So, yes!
Nintendo Man is freaking out right now.
It is very good. Like, they had really good giant robot animation in that show, and I'm glad to see that they're bringing it back.
So that leads us to, what do we think is going to replace Lupin? Because two big shows that you might have thought that if we didn't have confirmed that no, they're not getting them, like, I don't think they're going to get another big show to replace Lupin. Just kind
Probably
of like
not.
how like last year Samurai Champloo came in January, and that's not a huge show.
Mhm.
I really think it's got to be Space Battleship Yamato.
I think it's going to be something short. I don't think they want anything over, like, 24 episodes.
I mean,
think
Space Battleship Yamato is that length.
So it's probably that, but it also looks like they're looking at other genres. And if they are going to go with one of those genres, I think they're going to go with something short, and sort of top of its class there, so they can get a really good feel for is this going to work, and they'll be able to bail out quickly if it doesn't.
That
So
seems
like
like
if
a
they were going,
logical conclusion. Yeah.
Maybe
well, I mean,
space opera is one of those genres. Space battleship.
well, I mean, we've already done space opera. Like
Legend
that's
of the Galactic Heroes.
oh god. No, but I mean, like a 12, like something like Level E would probably be a really good fit for like a first comedy. 13 episodes, really funny, by a like writer who has done multiple Toonami shows in the past.
I would
It
be
would be a very
interested.
it'd be a very easy sell.
I'd be really interested to see what the response was to his question. If you
I would
assume
be
that
too.
most of them came from Toonami fans.
Like if he came out and be like, here's an analytic of what people responded with.
Yeah, I'd love
The
to see that.
most.
That would be really, really good.
I
I do have
suspect
a
that that horror would probably be the winner.
horror, and then I think comedy right after that.
Yeah, because we already kind of know horror was one of the choices from a previous thing. Because that was when he came out and said, "Would you want to see horror?" And people said
Hmm.
yes. And then we got Hellsing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hellsing, of course, was still extremely actiony.
Yes.
The
I mean,
most
they're not gonna.
actiony.
Yeah, I mean, they're not gonna like diverge too far away from actiony stuff, but
I totally would not hold it against Toonami if they tried to show non-actiony stuff.
yeah.
I do think that it would fundamentally change the block a bit, though, and I don't know how the response to that would be from the fans or the
I,
general public. But I think
I,
I
personally,
feel like anyone who's still watching Toonami at this point is kind of in for whatever.
I would hope so.
that Yeah, and I think that as long as like most of the block doesn't turn into like that one weird extra genre, like if it's not doesn't turn into a comedy block or a horror block or whatever, as long as the spirit of the block stays the same and it's only like, oh, let's just throw in a horror show here and a comedy show there to change it up a little
Yeah,
bit, it'll be fine.
I feel like
I mean,
a lot of anime has like most anime is like most television in that like it has a primary genre, but then it has other genres mixed into the
yeah.
show if it's a good show for the most
Hmm.
part. And so having a show air on Toonami that's like say 95% comedy, but then like 5% action is enough. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that would be
Hmm.
fun. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this other than to say that like I would I think if it helps Toonami to stay
Stay up.
interesting and vibrant, to go
Hmm.
outside of only action shows, then that
And
might be good.
and perhaps that
Yeah.
also helps them get actual like rights to things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it does seem like a lot of places that are scooping up exclusive rights are scooping up the sort of thing that DeMarco would want to put on Toonami.
Newer things too.
Yeah.
I do
It's
think
like,
though
oh,
that it is risky because you could alienate your audience if you showed something really out of their taste, you know.
Yeah,
right.
don't do Hamtaro.
No. Well, he tried that once and it didn't work.
I know they tried that, but don't do that. Learn the lesson from that.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think something like Level E, which is a good mix of comedy and horror, would be a good pick for that. But
We'll
I
see.
do. Well, I mean, I just think that if they are going down that line, they're going to just pick something really good that they can easily sell with a very short run time.
I'll give you. I got a conspiracy theory.
Sure.
Every time DeMarco posts a thread like this, I always immediately assume that he's already decided.
Oh,
And
he's
Yes.
softening
absolutely
up
already
for it.
decided. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's probably seen something. He thinks, oh, that looks awesome. I like that. I want to put that on there. Let's just see how open they are to it.
Right. Or it's
You know,
like we've got a replacement for Lupin, but we've gone outside our our rule
Wheelhouse.
of everything has to be actiony. So I'm going to put this question out there and see what people say, just to make them think about it, because it's going to come.
Yeah, he's just priming everyone for the decision he's already made.
He's like floating the trial balloon.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say that I have like
maybe
25%
he hasn't already
belief in
obtained
this.
the show, but he's seriously thinking about it.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't see an immediate blowback, then he'll be like, "Look, we got weird thing that you wouldn't expect."
Yeah, and I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with weird thing we wouldn't expect, because it keeps it fresh. Because a lot of
the one in my head, because I every time I go on Crunchyroll, it's like one of the top shows that they show.
Which one?
And that seems like if it's popular enough, people.
The Food Wars.
Yeah, Food Wars. Yeah.
The problem with Food Wars is that it's kind of Kill tier softcore porn.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's literally drawn by a porn artist.
Okay.
It's
like
it's okay. So it's Iron Chef, but what if all the judges in Iron Chef reacted by having all their clothes explode and having an orgasm, but not really?
Okay. Well. Okay.
Yeah.
I take that back. Then but I guess a show like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, something very popular that's outside the wheelhouse.
Haikyuu?
I think that's too far outside.
It's sports.
It's probably too outside the wheelhouse for a first go.
I know.
I'll throw out one. What about Nichiju?
That doesn't have a dub.
No.
But that's the kind of show that's like, it's not only a comedy slice of life show. That would be like, you can't really even say it has action, really, and it's also got mostly just cute girls in it. But I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. That's one that I think, as funny as that show is, I don't think that the Toonami audience would 100% support it. They'd be like, this is weird.
Like, I feel like the only thing that they could possibly get that's a little bit out there is like a Madoka Magica, but it still has to kind of look the part at a glance.
I think that's because they've shown, like, Sailor Moon is considered a Toonami.
Sailor Moon is grandfathered in.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of why I'm, still suggesting like level E, because it looks like at first glance, it looks like, oh, this is a Toonami show. It has a very horror aesthetic. But then you discover it's not actually horror. It's the greatest troll of all time.
What if this is a prelude to Crystal?
No.
I don't think they're ever going to get a show that he once described as a bullet dodged.
Okay.
Yes. Plus, I think, doesn't Hulu have the exclusive on that one?
Probably still.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure that's why he didn't get it in the first place.
Yeah, that was the reason why they initially could not get it. And then later they were like, that's a good thing, because, whew.
Yeah, that was bad. Like, I'm just hoping that they're not getting, the new Berserk series, because, god damn, that looks horrible. Like, what were the people who adapted that thinking?
Here's my recommendation to Marco.
Get a bad show.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Like, he needs to ask people, what shows do you not want to see on Toonami? I mean, you can't really do that, because it really,
I mean, I might do that, because,
basically, okay,
the audience
if
doesn't
you ask
always
that
know what they
question,
want.
we will spam his feed with Naruto Shippuden. Sorry.
But, like, the Berserk is a good example. It's like, you want him to know that show is not well made.
I don't know.
I think he knows.
I truly believe that there is no way that he would ever get that.
No, I mean, like just looking at screenshots would be enough for him to go, nope.
But he showed Beware the Batman.
Hey, in screenshots, that looks okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Berserk does not look okay in screenshots. Even in screenshots, Berserk looks like shit.
I guess that's true.
I mean, Berserk is one of those things where it's like, this needs the greatest adaptation of all time, and it keeps getting shitty ones.
Here's the top 2 shows they should not... please don't show this. Number 1, Fairy Tail. Number 2, Berserk. Fairy Tail is a long run. It's like 300-something episodes.
Oh, no, fuck that then. I was like, if it's only 50, I can live with 50, Like the first 3 arcs aren't too bad. It's when they start getting into like the orgasm magic and shit that it really sort of like, what?
I'm really just bummed out about Mob Psycho.
I know. I thought for sure that was going to be, a replacement for something.
It totally has that experimentalness to it that would fit like the whole Adult Swim Toonami aesthetic.
Yeah, like it looks like it would be an Adult Swim show.
I'd
Yeah.
also be interested in seeing right now, at the beginning of 2018, what is the new, taking into account shows they know they can't get, what's the new top 3 most requested? Okay, One Punch Man Season 2 is number 1, but what's the next 2?
I would normally guess in the next season of Attack on Titan, but the last one didn't do that great.
I still
And the
think we're
next
going to
season-
get that next year. I don't know if it's going to be immediately, if it's going to be as close
No.
to Japanese airing.
I don't think so. I think we'll get it end of the year. Like, I don't think he's gonna jump right on it.
Let
again.
it get cheaper. Or,
Yeah.
maybe Attack on Titan, Attack on Titan may have all, when Attack on Titan came around, we were like, man, this really dropped. But also, now we've realized, man, the ratings themselves have really dropped, and it doesn't seem to matter. Maybe the maybe we didn't see, maybe it didn't do as bad as we thought.
Yeah, I mean, because it used to be we'd have like 4 or 5 million, viewer shows, and it's like now
Can't even
not really.
can barely get one. We got one because we moved Super to 1030.
Yeah, I think that a lot more people have started using the streams and stuff at this point.
DVR and streams are definitely.
Yeah, because I mean, there are shows that I will use DVR for.
They're also on demand. Usually,
I do that too sometimes.
and hey, maybe even if the like rights holders see an increase in streaming from like not even on Toonami sources, but it's like putting this on Toonami bumped up our numbers. We want to put more of our stuff on Toonami.
Yeah, like that could go a long way toward making it cheaper to get certain shows.
Well, I think now we're getting into areas that we can't really comment on because we're not TV executives. But
exactly.
So let's get into an area we can comment on, even though we're not TV executives. Want to talk about the block?
All right.
All right. Sequel, did you have anything else?
No. I was just making a joke about the fact that we can comment on the shows on the block because we're not TV executives.
Well, if we were TV executives, we could still comment on them and maybe maybe say get that thing off the block. But
yes,
we're not
Clover.
But we're not. Naruto.
No.
I'd kill Naruto immediately before Black Clover.
Oh, before we start talking about
I'd kill Black Clover before Naruto.
Before we start
because
talking about
Naruto has
block
that
in general, though, I just want to say that I think overall, with the exception of 1 or 2 shows, I thought this week we're about to talk about, I thought was pretty strong.
It really was.
So we'll get into it more as we go.
Okay. Let's talk about Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super episode 44, Seal of Planet Potafu, Secrets of the Unleashed Superhuman Water. Guys, I didn't really pay attention to this episode.
Okay, I actually remember, I actually just watched it again to remind myself. It's not very complicated. Monaka delivers sweets to Bulma. Trunks and Goten stow away on his truck. They get cold. They're on a planet. They beat up alien thugs. And then Vegeta shows up to take them home, and he gets his powers and shit jacked by a jello mold.
And enter Brian Drummond.
Yep, and enter original Vegeta voice. Which is really a fantastic choice on Funimation's part because it turns what was an arc nobody liked and everyone wants to skip into, oh, we really got to see this now because it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's really cool. I like that there's no animosity here. It's just like 2 Vegeta voice actors sharing a little mini arc together. It's great.
Yep, it's just Vegeta and Vegeta.
That's about it for this episode because...
Yeah, no, I mean, not a lot happened here. I mean, Trunks and Goten got to beat up some weaklings, and
Yeah,
Then they got captured.
these guys look like rejects from like an '80s action cartoon in America. Their character designs were pretty crap.
Like
Yeah,
there's a literal pacifier involved.
yeah. I mean, these guys look exactly like the sort of guys Vegeta would kill on Planet Namek with one hit upon landing.
Pretty generic.
These are the Bug Planet
Yeah.
people he just nuked.
Yep. And then ate.
And then like
Because he totally ate those
Vegeta
Bug Planet
have
people.
to ride along with Manaka while they listen to newscasts about how the universal government has unified all underwear sizes.
Yep.
Finally.
I mean that is actually very useful and something I wish they would do in the rest of the world. Because it's like an American medium is not the same as a like European medium, which is not the same as like an Asian medium.
American
I'm
mediums are huge because we're all fat.
yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying we are all gigantic, we are all extremely fat, and our mediums are actually extra larges.
It makes even less sense though when you think about like the millions of species in the universe.
It really does.
There's no such thing as like you would have like 1,000 different sizes.
Yeah.
Also, what is underwear on certain planets?
Yeah.
That is a good question because
These
some of these guys, I don't think they
generic
wore
guys,
clothes.
yeah, they don't think they were wearing anything later in the episode.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were naked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Super filler arc.
Bulma basically manipulates Manaka and Vegeta, and that's I really didn't write anything else down about this.
So, want to talk about Dragon Ball Z Kai?
All right.
Sure.
Dragon Ball Z Kai, the final chapter is episode 143, Headlong Rush into Catastrophe, a 1-hour time limit, or not.
Nope. They get
Nope.
half an hour in and that's it.
Yeah, and he's like, fuck this, I'm done. Also, rip Chi-Chi.
Yep.
Yes, Chi-Chi got turned into an egg and then crushed by Super Boo.
They
That
did
was
her real
pretty.
dirty.
I mean, other than the fact that, again, for the 5 billionth time, we know that none of this there's no consequence here. But it was a pretty dramatic moment, I guess. Otherwise,
Yeah, I mean, if, we didn't know that, oh, they're just all going to get wished back. Like, if the Namekian Dragon Balls didn't exist, that would be very scary.
right? I was actually thinking that during the episode because right after that happens, again, I mean, props to DBZ for actually having Piccolo say, "Don't worry, we'll wish her back," which is kind of like basically admitting that there's a flaw to the tension in your show. It did make me think that why don't they should have set up a scenario or something about this plot where they couldn't use the Dragon Balls, and then just at the end they find a way to get the Dragon Balls to work or something. But
I mean,
even
that would, yeah, they'd have to, like, kill off Dende in the first couple minutes.
right or something, or just like in some way like make the Dragon Balls unattainable or something, and then that would have ratcheted up the tension a bit more, especially in this scene.
Yeah, I think if they had, somehow, like if the first thing Babidi had done upon showing up was have Dabura kill Dende, that would have sort of made everything like levels crazier.
Yeah.
Like we still could have gone, oh yeah, no, they'll just get the Namekian Dragon Balls, whatever. Goku got that instant transmission. But oh wait, no. He's actually still dead at this point. Oh yeah, no, they'd be absolutely screwed if Bulma died too.
Yeah, I just feel like they could have done more to make the wishing everyone back. Like, I mean, hypothetically, there's no guarantee they can make the wish,
No,
but it
but we all
doesn't
know.
like it's all that hard right now.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that it's like they could have done one or two small things to sort of ratchet the tension up, but they didn't for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I mean, really got no problem with that because there's much bigger problems in a couple of episodes, but whatever.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound like I'm complaining too much. I thought the episode was good.
No, it was good. Yeah.
And I even think the scene with Chi Chi getting turned, because it's like you like to see Chi Chi like step up. I mean, like she's always, any like all female characters in this show
Yeah.
practically, they all get
Well, I
relegated
mean,
to wives, and so it's nice to see her like stepping up to Super Boo.
yeah, I mean, Chi-Chi regularly punches above her weight when it comes to like trash talking people.
Yeah,
Like 90% of the guys she shit talks could kill her in like 10 seconds.
and that's exactly what happened.
Yes, it is. Poor Chi-Chi, she finally found the one person she couldn't shit talk. And now that I think about it, that actually makes sense why Goten was training so hard in the time chamber.
Yes, that was the whole point.
Yeah,
Is that like
that's the reason.
yeah. What's his face was like, hey, where's the food? They don't have enough food in here. But like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Goten's
Goten
like, yeah, no, fuck that, serious
he's
time.
like, yeah, he's determined now.
He's in a Rocky
Yeah.
training montage right now because,
They killed his mommy.
yep, they punched his mommy to death. Also, Boo killed everyone on Earth. There was also
no,
that.
he didn't kill everyone.
By the way,
Mr. Satan and the dog survived, and so did Tian and Chaozu.
except for literally 3 people on the surface of planet Earth, they're all dead.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we didn't see him kill Bulma's parents, but
Oh yeah.
I mean, that probably would have been too dark.
Chi-Chi got turned into an egg and smashed.
This is true.
Yeah. We remember when we talked about like Bulma's parents and their like reluctance to leave.
Maybe it's because they had already been killed.
They might have been at this point. I don't know. Who knows? But they're definitely dead now.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Also,
Anything else from? Oh yeah.
I was going to say yes. One other weird thing somebody noticed in the thread is Piccolo actually says Z Fighter.
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
Wait,
Because,
no.
yeah,
Yeah, he did. He said
yeah.
something like, I don't forget the line, but he was just like, of all the Z
He used the,
so forth.
yeah.
It's like someone forgot that that's not actually based on anything in the in-universe.
Right.
Yeah. I think it was one of those things where they had to have something fit the mouth movements, and that's all they could get.
Or they
Like,
just
they needed
for their group.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where they needed a certain number of syllables in that spot, and they couldn't get anything else.
Like Goku's friends, you know. But yeah, he said Z Fighters.
Yeah, I think Goku's friends is one syllable more. I think that I'm pretty sure that choice had more to do with
Well,
mouth flaps than anything else.
talking specifically about the strong people who fight.
Yeah,
So there's no like. Anyway, it's just it was a funny thing. I mean, I think it's either we're making the assumption here that Z Fighter is a canon thing that the characters know exists, or this is just a dub convenience.
it's probably a convenience.
Makes me wonder what the original Japanese said.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So to stall Boo, Piccolo decides to take the longest and most ridiculous route through the lookout.
Yep, go all the way up, then go all the way down.
And just try to give I don't know, man, shit's weird.
Hey man, it's like we got one hallway and it only goes one way, and that's how it goes.
Boo is pretty stupid. I think it's a smart plan.
He's also extremely impatient and doesn't give a shit when he gets that way, so you're gonna die.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
then he'll never find a strong fighter.
Yeah, exactly. He has to he can get mad all he wants, but he doesn't get his way unless he follows Vegeta.
Piccolo.
Or Piccolo.
Vegeta's dead, not like that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else from this episode?
No, that's about it.
Let's talk about Black Clover.
Do we have to?
Yes. Black Clover, episode 3, to the Royal Capital, or not. We could just sit here and whack a thing for 15 minutes.
Yeah, this. You might as well just retitle this episode "Rehash the Episode."
Filler in episode 3.
I would
Yeah,
believe,
I'm like,
without
seriously?
having read the manga, I bet that this entire episode was just one panel from a manga page where they're walking to the city.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I have no doubt that's what it was.
Mm-hmm. That's literally exactly what it was.
That makes
You're
sense.
kidding.
Nope.
No, I mean it makes perfect
Oh
sense.
god, I want to die.
I literally,
The
people are
episode is
literally
them-
saying this entire episode is anime original.
Yeah, because basically the first half of the episode is them re-explaining everything that's happened.
And
And
like the
For no
priest and
reason.
the nun and the old Gandalf dude have a conversation in which they
Old
literally
Gandalf.
repeat the same line 3 times in slightly different
Yes.
ways. And
Yes.
it's like, wait, didn't you just said that? You
Stop
said
saying
that
that.
twice.
that's
Stop it.
a joke in this world. But and then then it's just basically that and them saying goodbye to everyone. And then the second half is basically them just walking, there, and you can just tell like, oh, that was it. Like that was probably all that was in the manga, was just them walking to the city.
I need to find this one post by Midfalutin. Jeez, I can't keep up with all his name changes. But it
I
was
know
like
it's hard.
it, it was like the oh, here it is. You, an idiot. Oppressive power structures work against even the best efforts of those of us in the lower class, pushing us into a very specific role within society that it is nearly impossible to escape in a cycle of poverty and oppression, reinforced in nearly every facet of our existence. Me, an intellectual. Wizard King!
God.
Oh, by the way, 15 this episode. 15 with King shoutings.
Okay, so there were 7 minutes where he didn't shout Wizard King.
Well, I actually, to be fair, they weren't all shouting. Some people would just say Wizard King, but it was said 15 times.
Okay, there's still 7 whole minutes in this episode where nobody said Wizard King.
Wow.
I'm impressed. That is
I'm
better
impressed.
than last episode. Because wasn't last episode like 2 times a minute?
Yeah, I mean they weren't like spread out that way, but yeah.
Yeah, it was averaging about 2 times a minute last episode.
Yeah. And someone, I wrote this down, but I don't even remember who said it, but some character in the show said, "You dumb dummy doing dumb stuff." That was an actual line in the show.
I don't
I mean,
even
that
remember
could.
that.
I mean, that could be a funny line if done right, but no.
So, a couple of other little notes about the episode, just to cover our bases. They introduce a character. Well, the character was introduced before, but it feels like they're kind of playing it up a little more now, where this kid, who's basically this show's equivalent of Konomaru or whatever from Naruto.
Yeah. hmm
He's basically like, he thinks that, Asta's the joke, which is kind of true, I guess, in a way.
He is the joke.
He at the end of the episode is like, oh man, if you can actually get into the Wizard Academy or wherever the hell they're going,
Maybe I can.
maybe I can too. And it's
All
like,
right, hang on. I gotta.
yeah, just kind of like the whole setting up the passing of the torch early on, just like in Naruto. So another sort of, nothing real original here. They're just sort of playing the same things that happened in Naruto again because they know that works. And lots of training with the two, and again, you can already sort of tell that like the dynamic between Asta and Yuno is better than what you get with Naruto and Sasuke, because they're competitive but they're not assholes to each other. And on the whole, just completely fillerish, and ultimately mostly just sort of, it just felt like a wheel spinning episode where it's just like, we've got to fill time.
I mean, that's in episode 3. We have to completely invent events for an entire episode because fuck you.
It is, I can't tell if they really believe that they need to do this in order to always stay ahead of the manga because they think they're going to be doing this show for 10 years, or if they just like, this is just Perot, just like, this is what we do. We make shit up.
What did you expect us to do? We're Studio Perot.
Right. I can't tell, man. It's weird.
Why did you give this to us? What did you expect?
Maybe they're conceited and they're like, well, we can tell a story. Do our own thing.
Want to talk about JoJo?
Sure.
Did B-Dubs go somewhere? Oh, no, he's on mute. Oh, well. Oh, well, we'll talk about JoJo anyway. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders, episode 18, The Sun. In this episode, it's the angry sun from Super Mario Bros. 3. Everybody run! Yep. That's all. This episode, this fight was literally 2 chapters in the manga. This is the one episode. This is that episode of the show that maybe should not have been an episode. Should have been like half an episode.
Hmm.
But we did get to watch Joseph buys an expensive car, trades it for some camels and some. Can't even do the camel thing right.
Yeah. I mean, as stretched out as this already, I could tell it was a bit stretched out because they spent a lot of time doing comedy stuff with the camels, and they spent a lot of time trying to figure out where the stand user was. But it still was entertaining and funny and interesting. I wasn't like bored or anything.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was fun.
The camel stuff was actually pretty funny, and just watching Joseph be Joseph is funny in general.
I mean,
he's great.
Joseph is still a star of the show.
Yeah,
even
he's the best.
Son of a bitch!
Oh shit!
Oh my god!
And I like the line from Jotaro where they're like, Joseph's like, well, we're gonna have to take. Maybe I can fly a plane. And Jotaro's like, yeah, getting in a Cessna with a guy who's been in 3 plane crashes sounds like a really good idea.
That sounds like a fantastic idea. I mean, he did fly that one plane. Let's be real. Well, I mean, okay, he flew it straight into a volcano, but whatever. That's besides the point.
I think what I liked the most about this episode was the end, because it's so the opposite of everything we've seen so far. It was just like to the point where even the characters were commenting on it. It was just like, wait, that's it? You just killed him with a rock? That's it? It's over? And they're like, yep, we got him. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he was stupid.
Right.
Just like this dramatic, absurdly powerful looking stand, and it's just an idiot behind a mirror.
Yeah. And he hit him.
It was a clever plan.
Yeah, and he threw that rock through the mirror, and it hit the guy right in the head, and he was just laying there on the ground. And I was just like, with Polnareff, I'm just like, he's gonna get up or something, right? We're gonna have to fight him. It's like, nope, that was it. They're done.
He's dead. They've killed him.
The to be continued pops up, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty bold of the show to just do that.
I mean, like I said,
that was fantastic.
It was 2 chapters in the manga.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was fantastic.
I've never seen it. I just was just like, I want to applaud them for just being like, nope, we're not going to do anything fancy this episode. This is it. It's over.
Yeah. I do want to say, though, that the guy actually had a pretty good plan, Like, it wasn't the worst plan in the world considering what his power was.
Yeah, and I also like, too, that, like, there seems to be this rule now. I mean, what am I saying? This is JoJo. There's no real hard rules, but it feels like they're setting up this thing where, like, if you have a really strong stand, then you kind of have, like, a weak user.
Yeah.
It's the rule they set up is that a strong stand must have a user. The stronger the stand, the closer you can't be far away and still have your stand be strong.
That's right. I forgot.
Like,
that's
Steely Dan can go halfway across the world, but because the stand is so weak, it still works.
Yeah, I like that. I like that rule kind of exists.
And then Jotaro has to be right up in someone's face.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. I never thought about that. His stand is a great example of it. So I like that. I mean, because up until now, it's it sort of felt like a free for all, like anything goes, you know. Yeah, but ultimately a very entertaining episode, funny. Um, you know, the camel stuff was great. Joseph being
It was.
goofy was great, and then like it's as silly and stupid as the ending was. I kind of like thought it was original and different. You know,
The
wasn't just
laugh scene is pretty good.
yeah, just like
Yep.
he's right there. He had like a little car that he attached a mirror to the front of.
I just mean like how Kakuin just starts hamming it up, laughing, just like
Oh,
okay, what's his God? What I forgot his name. Fuck.
Kakuin?
No, the voice actor's name.
Oh, I don't remember.
Uh, we were just talking about how he's kind of on everything.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Whatever. They were just like, okay, we need you to do the most hammy laugh of all time,
We could do that.
and he can do it.
Yep. They nailed it.
They are complete. They are kind of like depowering Joseph though, because Polnareff noticed it before Joseph.
Hey, it
Yeah,
was.
I mean this does seem like the sort of thing Joseph would have figured out in like 30 seconds in the last series.
Mm.
You know,
Well, yeah, I guess
like
maybe Jotaro gets some of that from his grandpa. You know.
I mean, he probably does, but it's still one of those situations where it's like, wow, they really had to nerf him quite a bit to make it not the Joseph show all over again. You know.
Unfortunately, we already had the Joseph show. It was called Part 2, and it was amazing.
Hmm.
So,
It was.
anything else about this episode?
I mean, this was probably my favorite episode so far.
Really? The sun?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it was sort of a cool power, and it went about doing the whole thing in an interesting way, and it ended on what was essentially a twist on the basic formula. I like the fact that that the series is able to see, okay, this is what we normally do. Let's do not that. You know.
I mean, it's really just the fact that if you asked like anything, any other thread, they would be like, "Oh, the sun. That's the lowest point."
That's a weird thing because it was an entertaining episode, like the sort of standard shonen stuff in JoJo isn't really doing it for me, but the more weird, you know, riffs on the formula are I'm finding that more interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, that I don't know. I don't know if I even agree with that. It was
No,
okay. There's better
you probably
episodes.
don't. Yeah, I think it's just I'm not really into the bog standard shonen stuff that this part is doing. So you know, I'm finding the non-standard stuff a little more interesting as a result.
What confused me about this episode too was that, like, when after they beat after they beat the last guy, Steely Dan,
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be like the last stand user before they got to Dio.
We have over half of this show left.
It's been a
Oh,
long time.
Remember, this is a 50 episode show.
oh, that's right. There's like a
I
whole
keep
other
forgetting
part,
that.
Yeah,
like
they
a
haven't
Yeah.
even
part to
gotten
this
to
part.
Egypt.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's taken them forever to get there.
I mean, I believe, we've got like 3 more 2-part stand battles before we get to Egypt.
I think it's
Hmm.
because of Rita Repulsa's sort of like the fact that she was like Dio's right hand person, just and that she was defeated made me think that they were close. But you're right. I forgot there's like tons of episodes to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot. Tune in next week to see what that weird bump, those 2 weird bumps with like Kakuin being like, "I don't care if you're a baby, I'm gonna snap your neck," and
God.
weird looking Star Platinum slamming itself in the face with a pan.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah.
Because next fight's a weird one, guys. Shall we talk about Gundam?
Sure.
I guess.
Mobile Suit Gundam, Iron Blooded Orphans, episode 34, Vidar Rising, I guess.
The what rising?
The the dude in the mask who's definitely not that one dude.
Oh yeah, mask guy. Well, I mean, there's like
Because
12 different mask guys in this series. I mean, swear to God.
That's
because
an exaggeration. There's two.
I
There's
thought there
only
were
two.
3. No, there's 3 different mask guys.
Who's the third one?
Shit, I can't remember.
See, you're
No, that was
making it.
Helmet
There's no
Guy.
third. There's just the Gallarhorn guy and the Vidar guy.
Okay. It just
Well,
feels like there's a billion of them.
there was one in the Unicorn show too, but that's a different show.
So have we talked about how this guy's definitely not Galio?
Oh no, he's not Galio at all.
No way.
Nope.
You know why we know he's Galio? Because he wants revenge. They made a big point in this episode to point out the fact that that's his motive: revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Revenge on Orga for leaving him to die under that thing. It's Biscuit, just thin.
That would be amazing.
Like, how many people are going to be like? There's going to be a ton of people in the thread when he finally takes off the mask. They're going to be like, "What? It's not Biscuit?"
Not Biscuit, taller and thinner.
And at least one of them will actually be serious.
I think it would be, yeah, and for revenge, not just that like Orga left him under that rubble, but because like Orga didn't like heed his words. You should have listened to me, Orga.
You should have.
I mean, if Biscuit was around, they wouldn't be doing this whole thing where like, we're going to become the rulers of Mars. Biscuit would be like,
No.
Maybe don't.
Yeah, because this seems like the sort of thing Biscuit would be like, no, this is a bad idea. We shouldn't do it.
And, Orga would have actually listened to Biscuit, probably.
Although, I mean, to the show's credit, there was a scene with Naze in this episode basically doing the same thing. He's like,
yeah, but nobody listens.
I'm not going to stand up for you anymore after this.
When was that in the first season?
No, that was this episode.
In this episode, Naze has a meeting with I don't know who these people are, this council or whatever.
Oh, he's meeting with the Tewas. He's basically meeting with all the individual like family heads of Tewas. So he's in the big head honcho mobster meeting.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Cream Banana Boat dude is just like, man, I really have it out for you for reasons unknown.
Yep.
And Naze says a thing he should not say, which is, if they cause you any trouble, I'll kill myself.
You never want to say that to somebody who hates you.
Welp. No, he says that.
He
says that to the boss, but also you should not promise that.
You never promise that. That's the worst. Like, he's gonna die before the end of the series. He's gonna have to like kill himself or something.
So needless to say, Naze is gonna die because they're going to be trouble.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when are they not trouble?
Have they even said this? I know this guy's name, but I don't even know if they've said it out loud in this show yet.
I don't remember it.
His name is Jasley.
The fuck kind of name is that?
They said that name.
It's a Gundam name.
You said it. The moment you said it, I know I've heard that, but I hadn't remembered it.
It's probably me who said it. I literally cannot believe to this point this character who has been kind of looming there has not directly been. Nobody said, like, back off, Jasley.
Yeah.
They never say his name.
Maybe.
Is this like a thing where you're supposed to have known it from like promotional materials?
Who knows?
I like the little conversation. He was the guy with the hat, right?
Yeah, he's the dude in the yellow. You can tell he's important because he's wearing yellow and nobody else is wearing any primary color.
I liked his little conversation with the tall girl about like her role in things, and like, you don't understand what we're doing, and then he's just being like a chauvinist pig.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was a kind of a fun scene.
Like, man, you have a harem, but I'm even more sexist.
Yeah, but she's like, well, if you think he has a harem, then you don't understand what we're really doing. She's kind of playing her hand, saying like, Like, if you just think we're just a stupid harem, then you don't understand us. Which I
Right.
think is pretty cool because it kind of I mean, we as viewers have often said that Naze has a harem, but
I
I
mean,
think
he
the show
does.
is saying that they're not his harem, that they're just kind of, it's like a mutual thing where has this all female crew
And he
that
bones.
he gets lots of benefits from. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
And then, but they get stuff from him. They give him a home. They give him a place to operate out of, basically.
So it's a harem.
Yes, it's still weird.
It is weird, but it
Like,
Also,
it-
speaking of
it-
things that are weird.
Oh man, are we gonna talk
Oh
about
man.
this?
Oh man. Okay. So we should maybe have expected this from guy who walks around with chocolate all the time, but
yes.
he seems really way actually into the idea of marrying this little girl than he was previously. Because like previously, it kind of seemed like he was just like, well, I'm gonna walk the walk and talk the talk, but this is just business. This is how it's going. I need to do this.
Yeah,
But this
he's
time
not actually going to do it.
this time it's like, oh wait, dude, are you actually? No, dude.
Yeah,
Stop.
no, like
I'm
bad
not going
touch.
to defend this.
They need an adult.
I'm not going to
A different adult.
defend this scene, but I will say this. I think the intention of that scene was to show him, what's his name?
McGillis.
McGillis, thank you. It was to show that McGillis is kind of
Creepy.
he's kind of like acting kind of oldish brother, like a kind of an older brother figure to her, even though technically they're going to get married in the future.
I think they are married at this point.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
know that. Is that true?
I think
Like they look like they would go to Bone Town.
Yes.
No, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I don't think
No.
that this show is going there.
No, it looks like they go to Bone Town.
No,
No.
I don't think so. I think again, that's my point. Is like I think he's kind of as terrible as this is. Like you should never have this kind of arrangement ever. Like you don't marry people this young. But I think he's supposed to like be in an obligated marriage with her to get the benefits of a that take the benefit, the political benefits. But that
Yes.
he would never do that. Like that's what you're supposed to believe as the viewer. You're supposed to see, oh no, he would never do that to her. She's underage. He's an adult. That doesn't happen.
I like
But
the
the
conversation they
problem
had.
is that the show is depicting it in a weird way where she's kind of like cowboy straddles his lap. It's like, no, don't do that.
Like
Yeah,
the best case scenario of this scene is that he's just really playing along.
yeah.
Like
I think so. I mean, like, and not even like a flirty way, but just in like a kind of like I'm trying to say, like he's like being like a comforting older brother to her. But it's still creepy as hell, especially some of the angles that they showed it at. It's like, no.
Yeah,
no.
I'm pretty sure this was meant to be played straight. Given the angles they were going for and the positioning and the talking, like I'm pretty sure this whole thing is supposed to be unfortunate.
Anime, man, sometimes you just don't know.
I can't
It was a
tell.
mistake.
Okay, let me put it this way. For the sake of the show's creators' integrity, I'm going to assume that they were not implying that he is romantically attracted to her.
Okay, I think that's fair. If we'll probably find out more about this relationship later on.
But boy,
Well,
they don't
better.
do themselves any favors by having that scene play out the way it does, where she
No.
literally wakes up with her head in his lap.
Yeah.
Good thing we don't have to deal with that in Hunter. Oh.
Oops.
Well, it's not.
Not this episode.
First off, we should talk about the fact that they dug up like at least one more Gundam, like actual
they did.
Gundam. Just
they gave it a name.
Give the heroes another Gundam.
Yep, they're just loading them up.
It's Gundam Season 2, more Gundam.
I would tell you, there's nothing I can't complain about it. Like, if there's anything I want more of in this show, it would be more awesome Gundam action, I guess. If they can do it, then fine.
Also, Hush is running around just completely being a lapdog. And it's hilarious.
It's true.
He's also a lot more tolerable like this.
Yes. Also, that big dude and Meribit are going out
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
because you
Wait, the
totally
dude
cared about those
tapped her on the head?
characters.
That guy?
He did.
Okay, that's the one?
Hmm.
Okay.
And
Good for her, I guess. And him.
and some other politics stuff that I kind of didn't know anything about. So, yeah. Want to talk about Hunter x Hunter?
Sure.
Hunter x Hunter episode
Yes.
77, Unease and Sighting. You know, Kid Cuisine is the best part, is a part of every Chimera Ant's balanced breakfast.
It really is.
I feel bad for those kids.
I mean, those
So-
kids existed just to get eaten.
So in this episode, Kite's friends show up and it's like, these guys are going to die. Look at these designs.
What,
Yeah,
you
they're,
mean,
they're either
You mean the Mystery Incorporated?
yeah, they're either going to die horrible deaths or they're going to get left behind at some point. With
Like
those
either-
designs, that's all they can do.
They are either going to get eaten or at some point they will just stop showing up and you will not even realize they left.
Well, who wouldn't want to eat a character named, and I quote, Stick Dinner?
And another character literally named Banana.
Oh yeah, these guys are going to get eaten.
These guys are dead. They're so dead. You know
They're
who
not
else
gonna
is
survive this
extremely
arc.
super duper dead? These two
Those
kids.
Yeah, they didn't even last the whole
from
episode.
0 to eaten in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, they didn't even
literally
last
did.
the whole episode.
The boy literally says, and they extreme close up on his mouth as he says this phrase, "I won't let anything bad happen to you ever." Well, smash cut to Chomp.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
literally
what was-
less
I mean,
than
it's-
30 seconds after he said that.
It was just a scene. I mean, that whole scene with the two kids is basically just, let's show how, let's make the bad guys really look bad here.
Yeah. I mean, they just ate those kids like 30 seconds into, them showing up.
Yeah.
And, like every scene those kids had was, we are going to throw up as many death flags as humanly possible.
So there's a lot of unfortunate stuff in this episode that's not quite, actively terrible, but it's like, oh. There's those two characters who also show up, and it's like, oh no, those designs.
Wait,
oh, no.
Which ones?
The really short dudes in Kite's crew, where one's like, here's really terrible Asian stereotype, and etc.
No, I guess I didn't notice them being that bad. I guess maybe I didn't think about it.
Also, little girl wants to marry the brother, which is weird.
A little bit,
Okay.
but I mean,
I'm
they're
going to
like
talk about that for a second.
5.
That's nothing. That's like just
Yeah.
a little kid not understanding.
I saw the manga panel where the brother is literally like, she wants to marry me, but that's silly because she's my sister.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In the episode, they don't really say that because
they don't. They should have. Right. They left that
because-
out.
Yeah.
any chance.
But this
any
is a
chance.
You see that in anime and manga though. Like that's not uncommon for like a little
Like,
girl
it's-
character like to have like, it's not like a crush, like a romantic crush, but it's just like they don't understand.
Like,
You
I
know.
know
Supposed to
what
be
it
an-
is. It's just that, again, right after Mobile Suit Gundam, it was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
this again.
I
No,
think
yeah.
I think that's why it came off so badly, because
Right.
it came right after Gundam.
Yeah, it's supposed to be cute. You're supposed to be like, oh, isn't that cute? She thinks her brother is like,
But
You know,
the best.
it's like the perfect man. Isn't that cute? Because they're little kids, right? But yeah, it's a little weird sounding. I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, luckily we don't have to worry about them anymore.
No, they
No,
survived, surely.
They got eaten. And then the first of the human Chimera ants came out.
Yes.
You
Colt.
Yeah, he can talk.
His name is Colt. He's voiced by Genos. And I don't know, there's also something, I don't know, maybe they'll probably talk about this later, so I won't talk about it right now.
Yeah.
Oh
Hey,
yeah, we should mention too. they also explained in this episode that one of the things that makes the Chimera ant so terrible is that they're kind of like the aliens from the Aliens movies, where when they reproduce, their offspring inherit the traits of the species that they consumed.
Through
And
phagogenesis.
yeah, they
Yes.
call it
Also unfortunate.
phagogenesis.
I think
It's
that's an
PH,
actual.
not F. No,
That
it
might.
is.
Hold on. Yeah, that's an actual
uh-uh.
scientific term.
Yeah,
Still pronounced unfortunately.
Yes.
it's not
It,
phagiogenesis.
no, the PH is an F sound.
Okay.
It's yeah, so basically like if a Chimera ant eats like a crab, it's gonna get like the crab claws. And if
Yeah.
it eats like a bird, it's gonna get like the bird wings. And the problem is the queen is absolutely gigantic, so she can start eating people. And right now she's just eating normal people, and people, the ants are coming out and they're looking a little bit like people, and they can talk and think, and they're not completely mindless drones. So it sort of begs the question: what happens if she happens to eat someone that can use Ned?
And also, Kite explains too that the big fear is that if they did start eating humans, that the chimera ants are known to just completely make a species
Thrive.
extinct,
Yeah.
and so the human beings on this world could go extinct if this is left unchecked.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, so basically, there's like multiple fears that these things are just going to keep getting stronger as they encounter and eat stronger humans, and B, that they're not going to stop till everyone's dead.
So, high stakes.
Yeah, I mean, if you were complaining that last season was sort of, whatever, this season, the literal fate of the world.
Like
I
we said,
really
it's the most shonen of shonen arcs in Hunter x Hunter, but also
But
it
it's
turns
also
into the least.
Yeah. It's this weird thing that we can't talk about right now, but later on, it doesn't develop the way you think it develops.
I really I really like Kite's design.
No, Kite is awesome.
And not just his character, but like the way he looks. He
Oh no, he
doesn't
looks
look
great.
like any other character in this. He almost looks like a character from another show, and in a good way. I mean that in a good way. He
Yeah.
just looks like he has a completely different eye style, and like his face and the shape of his, like he's got this really rail thin body. He's just a
Yeah.
really cool looking character.
You can very easily pick him out of a lineup.
Yeah, and he seems like a really nice guy too. I mean, he seems really cool.
Oh no, he's a fantastically nice person, and he's amazingly strong.
I didn't even really even I didn't I don't want to say didn't. I liked his little troop as well, even though, like you guys said, they're probably not
Yeah.
long in this world. I liked them enough. They seem like nice characters.
Yeah, they seem like nice enough guys. I mean, they're gonna die horribly, but whatever.
I mean, in 2 episodes they'll be dead, and you'll be like, "Who were those guys again?"
Yeah, but I didn't hate them. They weren't annoying.
No.
They were kind. They were nice.
hmm
Very polite.
So who do you think's the next guy to die is gonna be?
I'm gonna bet on that bear dude. He stands out too much.
Well, no, I mean you've seen it. You don't count.
I would have said Stick Dinner because his name is Dinner.
There's also Banana.
Right, but Stick Dinner. Somebody wants a dinner. By the way,
All
that
right,
guy
so
is
you,
basically Shaggy with an afro.
oh, he's absolutely Shaggy.
Want to talk about Lupin? No?
No,
Hello?
sure, whatever. Yeah,
Hello?
no, let's go for it. Hello?
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 But nobody was
Can you-
saying
can-
anything.
I was gonna
Can you
let
hear me?
Beat Up do it, but he didn't say anything.
Yeah,
B-dubs, I
I thought
don't.
you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say something.
Oh. Lupin the Third, Part 4, Episode 23, Non-Stop Rendezvous. This is the second OVA episode, and it's before everything else, I guess. In this episode, Rebecca gets kidnapped by that guy who keeps posting the Rebecca gif in the thread.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
pretty
I
much.
forgot your name. That's a terrible thing to say. That was a joke. I didn't actually mean it.
No, he meant
Part
it.
about you being the guy who kidnapped him, not the fact that I forgot your name.
Let's just say generic otaku.
Anime
Oh.
fan. And they're on a train, and Lupin and Zenigata are handcuffed together, and there's some shenanigans where they try to shoot the cuffs off, but nope.
Yeah, it's really great. Like, this is a really good episode. I mean, I guess you could maybe place part of that on the fact that this is an OVA or whatever, OAV, because yeah, the animation was a little better than normal. I thought it looked really good, and like the gags with like the sushi keeps falling into Zenigata's mouth, like that was really great. And then
Yep.
yeah, and it also being kind of like a prequel, like you said, this is a flashback to events that occurred before the beginning of the series.
Because this is pre-wedding.
Right.
Yep.
We actually get to see the scene where, like, a scene, I guess, where Lupin gives Rebecca like an invitation to their wedding or whatever. I think that's what that
Yep.
was.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's the episode.
Yeah, it was like, and then they were kind of like, it was all around the framework of the fact that they had turned this into a movie called Nonstop.
Yep.
And Rebecca, of course, like she always does, she takes her like she makes movies. She's a movie star, and so she had turned this event into a movie.
Oh yeah, every single OVA episode always ends up being a Rebecca movie.
Really?
Yeah. Because remember
I'm
the
cool.
zombie one?
Oh, that's right. See, I didn't know that one was an OAV though.
Yeah.
Okay. If there was anything I could complain about, is that there wasn't more Rebecca.
Rebecca's
She's
great.
in it, but sort of just tied down most of the episodes. So
And also that car had some physics on it. Just fly off a cliff and bounce 50 feet in the air. That's how cars work.
yeah, it was so well animated.
Even when Lupin's good, there's nothing much to talk about.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there was any other moments that stood out to me, but it was just okay. One other really kind of, I thought, almost brilliant thing that happened in this episode. So, like you said, when they were in the car trying to get the handcuffs off, they kept trying to shoot the chain, and so like Zenigata's trying to shoot, and he's missing, of course, and almost hitting Lupin, and then Lupin's shooting, and he keeps missing, and again it's shooting all around the car and almost shoots Zenigata, and it's like they cannot get this chain to come off. And then in the final moment, when they get into the cabin to defeat the otaku guy, they both end up using a gun to ricochet bullets all around to defeat him. And it's like they had learned by practicing in the car how to ricochet the bullets all around, and that's how they ended up winning.
That's great.
And I was like, that's pretty cool. You set it up, and there's the payoff.
So, do you want to talk about 5 seconds about Naruto?
Yeah, I actually have a couple of things to say about Naruto.
Okay, then. Naruto Shippuden in episode 184, Deploy Team 1010, is a phrase no one will ever say again.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate, because I like 1010. I didn't even think about her before this episode, but actually seeing her like have an episode around her, I liked her. She's cool. She's like what I would want this show to be about. Like ninjas doing ninja stuff. Not a bunch of eye bullshit, not about fucking revenge plots that go on for decades. She was just a cool ass Kunoichi doing her thing. It had a lot of goofy comedy. I didn't like that in this episode. There was too much stupid comedy.
I frankly thought those weird old guys, I thought that was like Konohamaru and his kids in disguise.
Yeah, they weren't, but
I was like, wait, that's what? Oh, okay.
And like the whole like, oh, this is I've created a ninja star, I call it the Star Ninja, where the ninja rides the ninja star. It's like, come on, what is this, written for preschoolers? This is stupid. But having said that, I like the outcome of the episode when she ends up using that giant ball thing.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Like, she really
No, it was cool.
got to kind of shine in that moment. And I also like the voice actor who does Tenten's voice. Like, you don't hear that voice very often, and she has a really
No,
cool
she's fun.
sounding voice. I think overall, this episode was decent, and that's like high praise for a Shippuden episode, frankly.
It really is.
So there we go. You want to talk about Outlaw Star?
Sure.
Outlaw Star, episode 15, The Seven Emerge. Apparently, only some of them actually show up, though, according to some people.
The On-10 7, I believe.
Because we need the evil organization squad for the heroes to fight one-on-one against.
I like this. I like that this is being introduced because now it gives a bit of a formula to the show, where it's like, okay, we know we're going to be seeing more of these characters.
It does. I mean, we're almost finally getting into the actual show starting.
Yeah.
Because it feels like they've been spinning wheels for a while.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it takes a little while for them to set up.
Also, this episode was really good on multiple levels. First of all, this felt like a Bebop episode.
Mm-hmm.
In some of the ways it was shot and some of the music cues and other things, it felt like they were sharing notes with people who were working on Bebop. And
Probably.
like, it also had like some kind of serious drama moments in it, like the scene where Gene comes home drunk, and then Melfina, like in like a moment of kind of like, I don't know what you would just how you describe it, but she was like, she tries to like kiss him because she doesn't know what she's trying to find answers about herself, and she's feeling a bit vulnerable, I guess, and so she tries to kiss Gene, and then or no, he tries to kiss her or something like that,
Yeah.
and
Well,
it's like,
this guy's facing down like certain death at this point, so he's like, may as well.
yeah, and then she doesn't like it, and then this turns out to be this really awkward moment, and then she starts crying because she's like, I thought we were going to find out about my past, and you haven't done anything. And kind of the whole episode was about how Gene doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing. Like, he doesn't know, like, what am I doing this for? And he's kind of a dick to everyone in the episode, but at the end, everyone sort of sticks up for him because, friendship is magic or whatever.
Yeah.
And they end up, helping him win. So it was like, it was just a deeper episode than you normally get on this show. This show's been pretty, generic. Well, not generic, but like, there's not been any depth to the characters until now. But suddenly there's this episode where it's got like, oh, they're saying things about these characters.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they basically all died. So that's crazy.
Did they?
I mean, they didn't all die, but it looked like they all died. Like, if this guy had been serious, they were all dead.
Right. Like, everybody got grazed to the point of almost death, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, I mean, the only reason they didn't die because he didn't actually want to kill anyone. He was like, I want to kind of fake my own death.
Right. I mean, it was just what do you guys think? Didn't it feel like a very different kind of episode than what we've seen?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, it did still feel like an extension of what we already had in the series. Because they did already do that sort of, oh, Gene's having, a showdown type episode. We did do that, but this is sort of the first time he's actually been in one of these where he's not, like, seriously outclassing the other guy.
I guess I've never seen Gene up until now, like, lose confidence in himself.
You see, the
Or-
reason he struggled is because he's not fighting a girl this time.
Well, I mean that, and it's basically like this is sort of the first time he's actually facing someone that could potentially kill him. Everyone else is like trash compared to Gene
And there
up
was like
until
this,
now.
but also like the episode was setting it up like Gene's like, I think I'm just gonna die.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yep.
gonna go out and die today.
I-
Will it matter? It was like asking questions of like, does Gene's life matter? Like I don't think
Mhm.
that there was anything like that before in the show. Like always before, Gene was always this cocky guy who he could do anything, and now here he was suddenly like facing up against the guy that was going to kill him, and he's just like, I guess I'm going to die, and nobody's going to care. I thought it was
Yeah.
deep. It was deeper than normal, I think.
Mhm.
What was with that scene with Melfina? Because it's just like, suddenly domestic violence.
That's what I'm
Yep.
saying. It's like kind of, their relationship up until now has just been trivial. But then she says, what was my favorite moment in the episode, where she goes like, because Melfina is just such a blank slate most of the time. She's just like, "Hi, I'm Melfina, and I will cook you food," and blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and she doesn't do anything. And then she's suddenly like, "Gene, I thought you were gonna help me find out where I come from," and she's like actually emoting and
Yeah.
bawling into tears. And I'm like, "Whoa, we've never seen this side of Melfina before. This is
Mhm.
interesting."
Yeah. I mean, these characters are sort of now just getting into a situation none of them have ever been in before. It's a great way to move them all forward.
Yeah, I feel like this episode did a lot to step
Hmm.
things up a bit
Yeah.
from the norm.
No, yeah, it definitely did. I mean, they were in actual danger for once. They couldn't just, Gene couldn't just charm his way out of it or, fight his way out of it or whatever. He was pretty much screwed.
The only complaint I would have, honestly, about the episode is that I I don't really understand why all the characters stood up for him at the end.
They're friends. I don't know.
I mean, that's basically all I've got to go on, is that like they're just ultimately his friends, but
Yeah.
he didn't earn it. Like, you know what I mean? He's kind of been a dick to everyone. So maybe that just has maybe it's we're supposed to be like Gene and be like surprised by the fact that they would stick up for him.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's just his roguish charm.
Yeah.
Because they have to. That's in the script.
Yeah.
I know it did feel contrived. That's what I'm saying.
A
That's my
little bit. Yeah.
feel a little contrived, but power of friendship.
Yep.
One thing we did learn though is that Aisha likes dating sims.
Oh, yeah.
I
She's playing the
that was
dating sim
something
on a Game Boy.
that is something that still surprises me to this day. I'm like, really?
Anything else about this episode of Outlaw Star? Episode 15, we only have you can count on one hand the amount of episodes we have left.
Really?
Really? Probably. It's at most 11. If it's 26, I don't remember how much it is.
Hang on, let me actually look at this. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's 26.
Okay, so 11 episodes. I was wrong.
Yeah, I
Almost.
think there's about a season left.
The only other thing I had written down was that nobody likes Aisha's stew.
I mean, she
Shocking.
doesn't seem like the kind of person that knows how to cook.
I love that. She's so great, and she's like in this episode. She's like, I just love the way that she's so like boisterous, and she's like, "Ha ha ha!
Mhm.
Drink this, and you'll be strong like a guitar like me."
At one point in this episode, she only said one catarrh. And I was like, what?
What? She must have been. She must have really been shook by Gene.
Anyway, in regards to Cowboy Bebop and Ghost Bebop and Ghost in the Shell, this was that episode of Ghost in the Shell where Bato just tandem dies with what's his face, and he's like, ah, which is one of my favorite moments in the show.
Yeah.
Like, here's the bad guy of the season, and he's just like, ah. Also, What do you guys think is replacing Outlaw Star now that we're on about it? Because we were on a what's replacing what bent.
Yeah.
Well, didn't we say like Gundam Wing or something in the past?
I kind of thought Vision of Escaflowne.
Ooh,
I mean,
no, I would love that. I've never seen
DeMarco
that
has
series.
been. I haven't either, and DeMarco's been wanting to air that since like OG Toonami. So, like, we're gonna get that at some point.
I don't think there's any barricades to that airing. Like, I
No,
don't
I
think
don't think
anyone's
so
streaming
either.
it.
That seems like such
No,
a good fit.
I mean, that's basically nowhere right now.
Wow. Yeah, I'm all for that. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
anything about the series other than I know that it stars like the main protagonist is like a teenage girl who comes from another world. It's
Hmm.
like one of those kind of shows, but that it involves like fantasy and mecha.
It was
And
literally like one of the original. It's like it was isekai before isekai was a thing.
Yeah.
And I just know that other than that, it's like really like a beloved series. Like it's a really, well, I don't know if beloved is the right word, but it's like a lot of people like it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where there aren't many people complaining about it, if any.
So we might. It's funny because the shows that are ending in the early part of the year are all like back of the block old shows.
So you would think they'd be replaced by back of the block old shows.
Yeah, and then after that, Kai ends, and it's like, what now?
Yeah, they're gonna have
How
to
do you
really think about
replace
what the heck to
Dragon
put
Ball?
there.
Space
Maybe
Dandy,
they were hope.
That's probably fully coolly though.
It might be if the timing of that works out. They might have been hoping for. Wait, how many episodes are left?
20 something. I forgot to talk about how in Dragon Ball Z the narrator completely lies and says the final battle with Boo next time, and it's like, you're a fucking liar.
well, you know, though,
Seriously.
okay, I had thought about that though. I think he means the final battle with Boo begins next episode. In that, like, from this point on, it's all battle.
But you know it's not going to be.
Oh,
No.
okay.
It's not going to be the end.
Like, there's an
Somebody said that,
entire
though.
form that's in the opening that we haven't seen yet.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm saying he's being vague. He's saying the final battle with Boo begins now, meaning that from this point on, regardless of how many iterations and participants, everything will be one long battle from this point on.
20
That's actually true.
episodes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's actually true.
That might actually be true.
But you're right. It is no way the final battle with Super Boo. I mean, it'll be Super Boo's final battle, and then we'll get a different one.
Yeah.
This arc is not close to ending.
No.
We have several months. Oh my god, we have several months. Oh my god.
I think, what is it, 4 or 5 months?
It ends in May.
Yeah, so 4 or 5, for about 5 months. Oh, God.
I would hope they have enough reason to know not to re-air this. Like I'm glad that they're seeing it through to completion, but don't then stick it at the back of the block.
They
Yeah,
might
should know
do
better. Ugh.
It's Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be worth it for them.
Just to have Dragon Ball Z on the block still. And move everything up.
I guess
Yeah,
that wouldn't
'cause
be the
I was-
worst thing in the world. It just means I wouldn't watch whatever's at the end of the block.
Also, don't put it like before Cowboy Bebop and Ghost in the Shell because I'm actually watching those shows and I don't want to have to like occupy myself at 3 o'clock or 2:30 for 30 minutes because I will just go to sleep.
Mm-hmm. I've done that with
making it through
Naruto once or
shipping is
twice.
already a tall task.
Yes.
Also, Toonami Aero Awards coming tomorrow.
Oh, right.
It's
Wait,
about
what?
time. I mean, it's about time to open up the nominations for those.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, we got to do that.
Yeah, we got to do that.
What
Featuring-
are the...
Well, hold on. Let me bring up the
Okay.
category list from last year, and I'll tell you which ones got dropped and what got added, because we're doing some new stuff.
Yeah. I mean, not all of them are going to fit every
Are you
year.
talking about what you're gonna read off the categories?
Well, yeah, I'm just going to list the categories real quick that you can nominate tomorrow. Da-da-da. Oh wait, I don't need that one.
I'm just thinking you're going to be busy because you're also doing the soundtrack of the year thread.
Yeah. Yeah, I got myself busy. Anyway, so categories returning from last year will be best opening theme, best ending theme, best promo, best soundtrack, worst moment, one of our favorites.
Oof, that's going to
Wait
be
a
a
minute,
rough
we
one.
gave worst moment to Leone's death last year.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there was something
because it was
worse.
the worst.
We could have
Like,
chose something actively worse. I guess
I
it
don't
was.
know.
I guess last year was a kind of a weaker year for actively terrible moments. This year was a. This year had some terrible moments.
Oh yeah.
This was a banner year.
Best moment. This year was also a banner moment for best moments. One Piece's final swan song, man. Because that
Mm-hmm.
happened this year. Worst looking show and best looking show.
Good.
We will not be doing best and worst ending this year. For one, worst ending is a lock for Tokyo Ghoul.
Yes.
Best ending always gets weird because there's not. It's not. I feel like it's all. Both these categories, I feel like, well, here's one
There-
or two locks and one that has to be there because we need three.
yeah, there aren't really enough endings to do that sort of thing.
So instead, there will be replacement categories of best name, best name for a character.
Is that like supposed to be like best name in that like we're joking about it?
We will
Or-
we will see. It can be whatever you feel like, man.
Either way.
Whatever
Okay.
you want. I expect to see many nominations for what Dune.
You probably should explain that because that's my first question. Is like, do you mean like ironically or unironically best name?
Best name
Both.
for a character.
Okay.
Use your own judgment to determine what this means for you.
God.
And we will also be having a best dressed category.
Okay.
Best dressed.
I like
It's
that.
not going to be Joe. It's not going to be Joe Taro because he always wears the same thing.
Well,
I don't know. I think
no,
people vote for Joe.
most characters in all shows wear the same thing.
This is true.
This is true. Best fight returns. Best villain returns.
Cool.
Mhm.
Worst and best character.
Okay.
Worst character is always a fun time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we gave it to Absalom last year. Fuck Absalom.
He was the worst.
Last year was also not a banner year for like actively horrible, awful characters, but this year, man,
You're gonna have to go through the series we actually had this year.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to think about a lot of these.
best cast, of course, is back. I know what's not winning that one.
So it's just gonna be One Piece, that one.
Biggest disappointment and best surprise. Most wanted new show. It's a
That's
weird
pretty
one.
tough, knowing
Okay,
what we
so
know now.
Mob Psycho won
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
I'm sad.
But we did get Joe. But the other two finalists were Stardust Crusaders and Lupin the Third Part 4, and we got those.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
We also got Iron Blooded Orphans Season 2, which was nominated, and that's it.
I wonder if DeMarco saw our results because two of the three shows
No.
he could get, we got.
Hey man,
Our
you know he
streak was
listens to this.
we had been on a streak where then the 2 years ago, all three of the shows we nominated that were finalists we got.
It's crazy.
Best performance by a voice actor and best performance by a voice actress.
Okay.
Oh, I completely forgot. I skipped by best character without mention it. There's two best character categories this year:
Really?
best
How
character
are they
male
different?
and best character female.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Because I did kind of notice this year there are a lot of great female characters,
Yeah.
and they
that's
all
good.
deserve
more,
recognition.
more opportunity for.
Because I kind of feel like a just best character list would have all those great characters, but two of the three would still be dudes.
Yeah.
Because it's tough to beat Brooke and Joseph Joestar.
Bisky could probably do it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's going to happen. Also, once again, best performance by a voice actor and best performance by a voice actress.
Okay.
Can Ian Sinclair take it twice in a row for the same character?
Yes.
Yes. Best dub.
Okay.
And
Be a
of
hard
course,
one.
and we're also I'm gonna try. I don't know. I'm still weighing this in my head. Do you think we could do a best power or ability category? Because it's always weird. Because like you get people nominating like Nen and then specific Nen abilities, and then mid tiers of that.
I think
I
if
don't know.
we're gonna do best,
I don't feel strongly with that one. I feel like there's
I think if you're gonna
again, you're
do,
not being clear.
yeah,
Like
I think if we're gonna
best
do
because
best
it's
power, it has to
ridiculous,
be a.
or best because it's actually awesome.
I mean, I think either way is fine, but I think
It would
we're
have
gonna
to be
have to say,
specific to a single character.
yeah, I think best specific power.
I don't know. And then people will argue like that's not really a power.
It counts.
Yeah, we're not gonna do it.
Oh, all right.
And of course, worst show of the year and best show of the year. Which is weird. This is now weird because we've ranked most of these shows
Yeah.
directly
Well,
over
we're
each
gonna
other.
we're gonna re-rank them.
We're gonna see if stuff changes.
Yeah.
But Tokyo Ghoul's the worst thing ever. I stand by that.
How did they think they could get away with like 7 minutes of just the same GIF looping over and over?
Oh man. Oh, we're not doing best ending theme. I forgot.
You
That's
said
also
that.
worst. Yeah,
No, I
that's
said we're
also
not-
worst moment.
I forgot because I said at the very beginning we're doing best ending theme. I was just running through it. We're not actually doing a best ending theme category this year because one, Roundabout already won. The category served its purpose. Two, it's much harder actually finding those on YouTube or any video site because they get taken down and people just don't care to bring them back up.
Yeah.
Especially like the 6 or 7 Naruto ones we get every year. So that's all the categories. Those will go up tomorrow.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Are you going to
Anyway.
list all the shows that are eligible?
Cool.
I mean, there will be a list.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need a list because it's been a long year.
I have the episodes from the first airing of 2017. So just take a look at that and be like, okay, so that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that'll do it for episode 84 of the Toonami Escape podcast. I almost said gaff.
I think you did last week, actually.
I think I did. Thank you, C. Kohler.
No problem.
Thank you, B-Dubs.
Okay.
We'll see you guys in 2018. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we won't be back for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we won't be back for 2 weeks.
Right. Because
We won't be back
Christmas
until
and
2018.
marathons and stuff.
Anyway, see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.